Okay, let's dive in. Imagine there's this whole hidden world sort of just underneath the surface of global betting,
Right.
where it's not really about luck. It's all about, you know,
Yeah.
math, data.
Yeah, and our source material today kind of pulls back the curtain on that, doesn't it?
It does. It gives us a look inside.
Talking about these things called bet syndicates sounds a bit intense.
It does. So the mission for this deep dive, just using the info we have here, is to really get a handle on what these groups are
Mm-hmm.
and how they operate.
Okay. So not just a few friends putting some money on a match then. What are they like, according to these sources?
Yeah, that's where it gets really interesting. The sources describe them as like highly organized, systematic,
Right.
forget your average weekend gambler, think more. Quantitative finance, like a hedge fund almost.
Yeah, that hedge fund comparison is spot on, I think. They're built for consistent profit, right? Not just chasing a lucky break.
Exactly.
And the sources say they're typically pretty small groups, elite. You might have, say, a stats genius, a tech person building the software, and often this seems crucial, someone who used to work for a sports book, a former trader.
Ah, okay, the insider. That makes total sense. They know how the odds are set, how the bookies think.
Precisely.
So with that kind of brain power, what's their actual process? How do they find these edges the sources mention?
Well, it's very data heavy. They're running complex models, thousands of games.
Thousands, wow.
Yeah, simulating outcomes, constantly scanning odds, feeds from everywhere in real time.
And they're not necessarily looking for those 100-to-1 shots, are they?
No, not usually. What the sources stress is finding tiny discrepancies, sometimes just like 0.5% advantage.
5%.
Yeah. It's what they call value betting. Finding where the real probability, their calculated probability, is just slightly off from the bookmaker's odds.
Okay, got it. So stacking up lots of small, reliable wins.
Exactly. It's
Yeah.
systematic. And this leads to something else the sources highlight. These syndicates don't just take odds, they actually move the market.
Right. And the source material gives that amazing example, doesn't it? This huge bet, $100,000.
Yeah, $100 K. On it, get this, second division Danish football match.
Second division Danish football. And what happens?
Well, within minutes, the odds on that specific game start shifting globally.
And the reason the sources say is that bookmakers see this big, sharp bet come in on an obscure market.
Uh-huh.
And they just assume someone knows something. Inside info, maybe?
Like a key injury nobody reported yet, or a leaked team sheet, something the odds haven't caught up with.
So it forces everyone else to react and adjust their own prices. It's a ripple effect.
Which, explains why the sports books aren't exactly fans.
No kidding.
The sources mention accounts getting blacklisted, stakes being limited.
Right, because these syndicates are consistently finding the weaknesses and costing the bookmakers money.
Yeah, they're essentially too good for the bookies' comfort.
Which brings us to why you never really hear about them. The sources are clear, they operate completely in the shadows.
Mm-hmm. No bragging online, no live streams, definitely no Learn My Secrets courses.
Because?
Well, it's simple logic, isn't it? Every extra person doing exactly what they do erodes their edge. That tiny 0.5% advantage gets smaller.
So silence is their strategy.
Absolutely, it's survival.
And if you contrast that, the spreadsheets, the discipline, the cold calculations,
Mhm.
with what the sources describe as, typical casual betting, often driven by emotions, gut feelings, maybe even desperation.
Oh, completely different world.
Totally different night and day.
So, wrapping this up, why does this matter for you listening, even if you just place the odd bet here and there?
Well, I think understanding this hidden layer shows that the odds you see aren't just static numbers.
Right.
They're dynamic. They're being constantly prodded and shaped by these really sophisticated, data-driven players operating behind the curtain.
Yeah, the key takeaway from these sources really is this hidden world. Organized groups using math, tech, and secrecy to consistently profit and actually influence the whole betting landscape. It's quite something.
It really makes you think, doesn't it? Beyond betting, how much else in our daily lives might be subtly shaped by organized, data-driven forces that we just don't see, operating quietly while we just interact with the surface? Makes you wonder.